One love, God bless. Fire Nelson here, and today is Sunday service where we pick a random Bible scripture and we reason on it. So let's see. All right. So we got Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. And it says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the righteousness is of me, saith the Lord." Wow. So no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. I think all of us have heard this. So this is what's really saying is when you're living in the way of righteousness, when you're living in the path of the Most High, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing to be a good human being, then we are protected. We are divinely protected. And if you're watching this, this is your calling, and this is your message to say you are divinely protected today. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper." And this doesn't mean like a sword or a knife or a gun or things like this. I mean, it could if you're really in that type of environment, which hopefully you aren't. But what it means is even sicknesses, even people's negative thoughts towards you, even, worries about bills and stresses about if you're going to be able to do these things in a certain amount of time. No negative thought, no negative vibration formed against you shall prosper. It's nothing in the hands of the Most High. When you put your faith in the Lord and you know that you're living in a righteous way, in a holy way, in the laws of the Most High, then you have a certain confidence that you can have about you. And this is something that is called faith, truthfully. When you just have that faith that the Most High is always working with you and for you, just as much as you are working with and for the Most High. But the Most High is even working harder than you are, So we have to have this trust, and then we will truly realize that no weapon, no negativity, no evil force of any kind that is formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. And it's saying a lowercase thou, not an uppercase thou. You see, it's any wicked tongue, every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. We don't need to be around those types of people. We don't need to surround ourselves with people that speak negative against us, because there's power in words. There's energy in words, and if we let these people think that it's just, okay for them to be around us, to be in our environment and speak these ways about us, we have to continue to be the example of righteousness and just let them go from our life, cut them off from our, environment and our energy field. Because when we let so much negativity in our life, whether it's from, people or society or what we watch and things like this, what we digest through entertainment, when we let too much negativity in our life, it sometimes messes with our own ways of thinking, our own mindsets, and how we think about ourselves and how we think that we should be operating in the world. Or it even might just upset our mood so that we can't operate to our best and highest self. So it's important for us to condemn those, that speak against us, that speak evil against us. Not in a way where you are judging them, but just you are making sure to know where they're at and know where you're at, and don't tolerate anything from that type of people, not in a violence type of way, not anything like that, but we don't need those types of energies around us. So This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Saith the Lord. So this is the inheritance. This is what you are destined for, to be protected, to know which people and which paths you should go with, and know which people and which paths you shouldn't, which you should condemn and which you shouldn't. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, those who are truly living a testimony of the Most High. So we have to realize that there is so much power when we live righteously. There's so much power when we follow wherever the Most High is trying to guide us. And sometimes it's not as simple as just like, oh yeah, follow it. Yeah, okay. No, it takes us building our discipline, and takes us detoxifying ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually so that we can hear and see the path clearer. Because lots of times before, we're living in a state of ignorance, or living in a state of society's ways, and not really truly understanding and overstanding and understanding how the ways of this universe works. And there's a divine source that has created this universe. And if you live in the ways of how this divine source has created this universe, the universal laws, if you live in a universal law type of way, then no weapon formed against thee shall ever prosper. No evil tongue shall ever be able to truly affect your environment, because you will be more powerful than any evilness or any wickedness that is trying to come into your, energy field or into your life in general. The righteousness of the Lord is with you always if you are a servant of the Lord. If you humble yourself and realize, oh, I have much more to learn. I have much more spiritual practices to be doing. I am not doing things the right way. And that's the hardest thing for people to realize. What you've been doing for the past 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, maybe not truly in line with how we should be living. It's not that it's sinful. It's not that it's completely incorrect, but it's just not aligned with how we should be living. If you're working a night shift, it's not truly aligned with how you should be living. If you're, if you're eating only fast food, it's not truly aligned with how you should be living. If you're not taking efforts to grow and learn more every week, every single day, at least every month, it's not truly aligned with how we should be living. And you're living in a way of past beliefs, past limitations, past thoughts. And this is usually why we have so much trials and tribulations and turmoils and arguments and just situations that come up in our life that seem to repeat themselves almost. It's because we haven't learned a lesson from our past, and we just keep on doing the same things thinking we'll get different results. But this is what we call insanity, when you do the same things over and over again and you expect the results to be different. This is insane, You can't just keep dropping the same exact song and hope, oh, maybe one day it's gonna catch. Very small percentage, yes, maybe it might happen. But for most people, you have to switch it up. You can't just keep on saying, hey, yeah, everybody go watch this one movie I did until hopefully it gets 1 million people watched it and you have the amount of success you want. No, you want to diversify. You want to do different things. So we have to realize life is like this. When you're trying to grow, when you're trying to be the best version of yourself, there's going to be things you're going to have to change. There's going to be things that you're going to have to cut off of your, belief systems. When you're growing into a new person, into your new self, there's things that you're going to have to shed and realize, I could be doing this better or doing this differently. But we have to do things out of a righteous way, out of the holiest way that we can, because we're living in a world that's full of temptation, full of ways of life that people normalize, but it's not truly normal in the ways of the universe, in the ways of the Most High. This is why there's animals constantly being, pushed to extinction. This is why our oceans are so polluted. This is why our skies are so polluted. Our air that we breathe is polluted. So you can follow the ways of man and society and what people tell you and things like this, and your favorite influencers. You can follow these types of ways, or you can follow the ways of the Most High and see what results you get there. Because I wouldn't be telling you this if I hadn't gone through experiences myself and realized the difference of your life if you follow the ways of the Most High compared to the ways of society. It's a significant difference. You feel better mentally, physically, and spiritually 9.5 out of 10 of the time, instead of following the ways of society and you feel, 50-50, if that. And it's only usually 50-50 because you're filling your time with so much instant gratification that, you don't have even time to look up. So when you follow the ways of the Most High, this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and the righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. When you do these things, when you become a servant of the Lord, become a servant of, everybody, really, because the Lord is within all, So when you become a servant of everybody, realize that everybody is united, everybody is one, that we should be trying to help everybody if we can. We don't need to be filling our time with people who are evil and speaking evil thoughts and putting evil, negative ways into our environment. We don't need to spend our time obsessing over these people, but we can try to help them still. But when we live in this way of righteousness, when we live as a servant of the Lord instead of just trying to get things from others and get things from this universe, the universe actually starts blossoming for us, blooming for us, truly. It becomes so abundant, so open, so filled with gratitude that is truly like a blooming flower. It's just filled with miracles. I didn't want to say magic, but miracles, truly. Little miracles you'll see once you finally release yourselves from the temptations of the world and society and live in a righteous way, live in the path of the Most High, and truly just surrender yourself to become a servant of the Lord, as it says. Because when you do this, like it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Be a servant of the Most High, even if it's for a week, try it for a month, try it for a day, but you really want to try it for a month, and then you'll truly see how your life starts to shift, if it doesn't make a significant shift, because the Most High works in ways like this. There's no limitation to the Most High's powers and the Most High's grace and the Most High's goodness, for we live in a place of true abundance. But until you leave the normal thought patterns of society, until you leave the thoughts of lack and negativity, until you leave these ways and habits and limitations, false beliefs, these Maya, these Babylon ways, until you leave these ways, you won't really see how abundant, how wealthy, mentally, physically, and spiritually wealthy, how loving, how caring this world is. So I pray and pray that you truly do that. You pick up a Bible, you pick up a holy book, you pick up whatever type of spiritual book you want to, but really get down and do some deep praying, deep meditating, deep knowledge building, and try these things out, because that's the only way that you're going to see if what is in these books is true or not. I wouldn't be here if I haven't tried these things myself, if I haven't been in the darkness and seen the light. So go ahead, go towards the light. It may seem weird, it may seem like not the rest of society's ways, it may seem like you're going to be totally different and strange, but it's okay. You'll find your path, you'll find your path, most importantly, and you'll find your connection with the divine source, very most important. So build that connection with the divine source, pray, meditate, read spiritual books, and be patient with yourself on your journey. But be aware, have discipline. Don't fall into the pack. Don't fall into the ways of Babylon and society. Stay righteous, and you will be protected. So if you haven't, please subscribe, like, comment, share. And I do this every Sunday. So thanks for tuning in, and see you next Sunday. One love.